Good afternoon, Forever family. My name is Alex Hoffmann, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing some of our top leaders from Canada, Oliver and Olivera Lepke. Both Oliver and Olivera are from the former Yugoslavia, now Bosnia, and during the Balkan War, they fled the country. While Oliver lived in Ukraine, Oliver lived in Germany, and both ended up in Canada where they met. They both speak Serbo-Croatian, which is their mother tongue, and Oliver speaks German, Ukrainian, and English. And of course, Olivera also speaks English. They're travelers and have visited all continents except Antarctica and South America, but they're looking forward to fixing that. The sooner the better. I agree with you. Yes, they consider themselves travelers as they have visited about 35 countries and are just getting started. They have been with Forever for 12 years and are senior managers. They have two boys and they enjoy spending time with them, especially playing sports. Oliver loves playing tennis and he takes it seriously as a recreational level. They love the freedom of working from home and anywhere else as they build the Forever business that they plan to pass on to their boys. I had the opportunity to meet both of them in Toronto, Canada at the beginning of this year. And then when Oliver came for our Forever experience here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have enjoyed talking to you and spending time with you and chatting with you and having different conversations with you. You are amazing leaders, and I'm so happy to have you here with us today. Welcome to our interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor.
I'm going to start asking Olivera a question. You guys have traveled to almost all of the continents in the world, 35 countries, that's a lot. And I wanted to ask Olivera, what are some of the favorite countries you have visited, and what's your favorite food?
Well, all these countries that we've been to are so nice and unique in their own way. But for me personally, one country that stands out was Egypt, Cairo. It was always a childhood dream to go and, see the pyramids and all the history museums. Experience was amazing. The kids went into pyramids, inside the pyramid, and it was so overwhelming to experience that, how big and just phenomenal. But yeah, it's lots of nice countries. Morocco was another one, and so many. We love them all. We can't wait to continue this, and so grateful that we were able to do that in the right time and show our kids.
Great. Yeah, I think in my experience as well, when I travel with my kids, you learn so much about other cultures and people just by traveling. And
Exactly.
for me, one of the things that I enjoy of traveling is learning and eating different types of food and enjoying those type of foods. Do you remember or have any favorite foods from one of those countries?
Oh, of course. Well, with most of the countries, we were familiar with the foods, but Morocco was surprised that we never tried before. So when we went to Marrakesh on our way back to Casablanca, we stopped in some village and they made a really nice, delicious local food. It was delicious and nice. And, our tour guide explained to us everything. And it just was really, really nice. Nice experience. And again, for kids to experience that, it's priceless.
Yeah, the food, the music, the culture, the language, and so many things.
Yeah, it's true. It's priceless. They learn more from a trip than probably years in school. And so that's so good that you have been able to travel with your kids all over the world. And I've never been to Morocco, so I'm looking forward to going there and trying that special food. My mouth was watering right now when you were talking about the food. I'm getting hungry.
Yes, it was delicious.
Great, thanks for sharing that. Oliver, we all know that you are an expert on building the business on the website and using social media. what resources do you use to connect with your team, and what do you think staying connected with your team is so important?
Okay, yeah, well, that's a good question. Staying connected is so becoming important more than ever before, because more and more people are disconnecting, because now, not only because of this situation, but I find that a lot of people are using social media or using technology to kind of back off or stand away. And using social media like Facebook, for example, Facebook is a social tool, and network marketing, our business, for that business, it works really, really well. So for those who learn to use social media properly, like Facebook and others, Instagram, that pays off really well. And not only Facebook, but also I have a YouTube channel, so I'm continuously posting videos there and connecting and reaching out. So besides Facebook, besides Zoom, that we connect with our team, customers, we also use other means like picking up a phone and giving a phone and say, hello, how are you? It sometimes surprises people, because people are not getting, they're not get used to it. They're just surprised that, hey, somebody called me, right?
It's more personal.
It is so much more personal. So the more personal it is, exactly, the better. And other tools, emails, for example, and something new that Olivera noticed when she bought me a small gift, and we received a personal card along with the gift with that first purchase. And she said, wow, Oliver, this is such a great idea. We should incorporate this into our business. And a week later, we had created these cards for our business. And basically, it's a very simple thank you card that looks like this. Hope you can see it well. So this is just a simple thank you card, and at the back is just empty, and you can write a personal note, something like this. And when you write a personal note like this, people really appreciate it. And when we started doing this, we started receiving notes back. Oh my goodness, thank you for that note. They were so surprised to see that, because it's so unique, it's so personal, and people love that. So if I can share something for anybody else in Forever World and other FBOs and distributors, it's such a small investment to create these simple thank you cards, and really goes far with that simple message and make it personal. So
Great, I love that, and I like that you use different platforms, not only one. You mentioned you use YouTube and also Facebook, and even regular phone calls, which we've always have phones, right? Before Facebook, YouTube, and anything else. And now you also do postcards, something that it's even older than the phones. And so I'm so happy that you are showing all of the different tools that you use, because sometimes people, like you mentioned before, sometimes with social media, people think that social media, it's magic, and yes, social media is going to solve all of the problems, or going to make your business grow exponentially without you doing much. But I think you still need to do the basics and do different things to reach out to different people, because people communicate in different ways. So I really like that you do that. You just mentioned Facebook, and Facebook is, as you mentioned, called a social media, and our business is about people. What are some of the topics that you have done, or you, in terms of doing Facebook Live, and that have been successful for you as a promotional tool?
Okay. So what we do is I create videos in different topics, sometimes about business, sometimes about products, but at the end of the day, it is really providing a value that to viewers. And it doesn't have to be really about products and business all the time. And it's really good to mix and provide different information. And sometimes, even myself, at the beginning, I was thinking, well, what do I know? There's so many other people who know so much more. how I'm going to create value for somebody who's going to be watching me. Who are the people that are going to be watching me and following me? But to be honest, I realized that every one of us knows something that can be valuable to others. And whatever you're good in, whether this is like maybe a sport, a music, maybe you're cycling, maybe you're whatever you're good at, that can be very valuable for others who don't know that much. And if you approach it from that point of view and we start providing that information little by little, we become also better and better. And that value is the key. And those people who will find value in what we provide is they will start following you and you become a leader in your own right. So your vibe will create your tribe, and you will have people who will love the content that you provide. So the key is providing the value, something that you like. And sometimes it doesn't take much. You can just simply go to Google or watch a few other videos, summarize it, maybe read a book, and then provide a review of that book, and then provide it to others. And many will love it. And that's how you connect with new people, existing people, and that's how you become more valuable to the marketplace. And that's what pays money.
Yeah, I agree with that. In the competitive world that we live in, uh, the small things of adding value, like you just mentioned, are the things that are going to make the difference. And I love that social media, again, as we mentioned before, people think that you have to be an expert or reinvent the wheel or do huge things, which are not necessarily the case. You just, like you mentioned, you gave amazing and great examples. If you add value and do something little uh, in addition to what you're doing, that's where you're going to start getting more followers and customers and people that's going to want to follow you as a leader and do the things that you're doing. So I love that. We know that you live in Canada right now. And, I love Canada. It's an amazing country. My daughter lived there for a year and a half. And Canada has had some government regulations in terms of products, and sometimes you don't have all of the products there. And this is something that happens in most of the international markets for the company. Our company is in over 150 countries, and each country has its own government regulations that change constantly, and there's not much we can do about that. And sometimes people, FBOs that don't have a clear focus or a clear why about their business, they get discouraged when they lose one or two products, or when they don't have all of the products there for them. And this is something that's happened for Canada, but we have seen that you as a leader have not been discouraged of that. You keep doing your business, and your business keeps growing regardless of government regulations or not. Tell us what do you think about this issue?
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually glad you asked this, because we've seen a big change here in Canada, and to be honest, every market has some challenges. We live here in Toronto, Canada. You live in Phoenix, and by the way, I would love to know where people are watching us from. So if you're watching us from a different place other than Phoenix or Toronto, leave us a comment here and let us know where you're watching us from, because I know there's so many states and provinces and cities and countries, like you said, over 155 countries, and there are probably people watching from many different places. So I'm always interested, where these people are watching us from. So leave us a comment. Now, speaking of challenges in forever and whatever you are, whatever country you are in, trust me, there's some kind of challenges that exist. In Canada, Canada is very specific when it comes to nutritional requirements, and therefore there are not as many products here yet. And I know Forever is working to bring more and so on. But we look at some other countries, like for example, Japan. Japan only has, I don't know, like dozen products or so. And they're always like top country in forever, like number one, number two, number one, number two, number three. And so number of products is not an issue for them. So we shouldn't have that as an excuse. For some people, they will say, oh, you know what? The products are so expensive, right? And then when you look at a country like Nigeria, that for them, our products would be even like much, much more expensive. And yet again, they're also very often like top 10, top 20 countries in the world. So every country, in spite how expensive products are, in every country, there are people who can afford it and who would love to pay the full price for our products as long as they know about it. Similarly here, so every country has some challenges, but I learned a long time ago not to focus on challenges. We focus on what's available and we focus on the products, we focus on things that we want to focus. We focus on growing our team and helping our team stay connected. We focus on products that we have. If we don't have samples, we focus on products. If we don't have another one product, we focus on all the other products that we have. Focus on building the team. Focus on finding new customers. You know what? Even if we have half of the products, you can find twice as many customers and you're back to the same level. So like George Lucas, I wrote it here. George Lucas said, your focus determines your reality. So think carefully what you want to focus on. If you want to focus on how products are not available, you may have even more unavailable products. Or if you want to focus on more customers, you will have more customers. So be careful about what you focus on. So hopefully that helps, because what we learn together, growing together with Forever, and we just focus on positive things and completely ignore these challenges that exists.
I agree 100% on that. I'm not gonna make any comment because you explained it perfectly. One of the things that we see you doing really, really good, Oliver, is working on Facebook with everybody, not only your team, but you're always making positive comments on our Facebook groups for the US, for Canada, for other countries. And you have created this amazing concept that not everybody has, which is some people call it cross-line, some people call it partnership. We call it a family. We are the Forever family. We can clearly see that on Rex, Greg, all of the executives from the company have this sense of we are all a big family. We help each other. There is no competition, but we like collaboration more than competition. How can you be this game player that it's focused on collaboration and not on competition?
Alex, the first thing that came to my mind is what Dr. Ivan Meisner said, and he said, givers gain. Now we'll repeat that, givers gain. First, when I heard it, I didn't understand it right away, but which really means is those people who are giving, they're gaining. And same here in our business, in Forever Family, is, you know, in spite that some people think, okay, just help people in your team, I found that you give or help other teams, and you're so connected, well connected with other teams. Like Martha has a global team in USA and other countries. Then Emma Cooper has her team, Team Eagles. Then Diana Page, Rolling Snowballs, and we kind of connect sometimes and talk and share ideas. We share our ideas, and then they share their ideas, and that's how we help each other, and that's how we have these cross lines, sidelines, whatever you want to call it. But I really like it's one big Forever family, and giving is getting back more. So we give a little bit to one, to others, to third, and at the same time receiving back. So giver's gain is awesome. If you are in Forever, I encourage you, I highly encourage you to try that. Find somebody who is not in your team and see if you can help them out without any expectation. And let's just see what happens. I would love to hear what happened, and I would love to hear the experience that you received by doing that.
I love that. I made a note of that. And I would like to ask people that's watching right now on Facebook to write in their comments, givers gain. I think that's probably one of the phrases that I'm going to keep from this interview, givers gain. I love that. And I think it's also a law of life. When we give, for sure, we're going to gain back things. There is a saying in life that I think everybody have heard before. The only constant in life is change. And I think in the last 4 months or during this year, we have seen a lot of changes going on in the world with health, with economy, with everything going on. What about advice can you offer other FBOs about embracing change?
Yeah. Yeah, change is constant and it's always there. And without change or without challenge, we can't grow. The challenge or change, every change is challenging, some less, some more. But the more challenging I find it, the better, because we can't grow without challenge. Great sailors don't become great on a quiet sea. You know, we always need that challenge to overcome that challenge, to push us more, to overcome things, and that's how we become better and better and better. If it's just this comfort zone and you don't challenge yourself, I'm telling you, you're not going to grow. It's almost impossible to grow just by relaxing. Very similar to our muscles. Like if we never challenge our muscles, if they're just quiet and not being challenged, they're not going to grow. They're just going to be relaxed and, you know, they're just going to be useless. So for us to grow, for our minds to grow, for our business to grow, we need to challenge ourselves and overcome these challenges and embrace the challenge. I love challenges. And I guess that's what you're growing. That's why you're growing. Our business grows.
That's the only way to grow, right? And we that have children can attest for that. My youngest son, Samuel, he's 15, and for the last few years, he's been having pain growth, growth pains. Sometimes he wakes up and he's like, oh, my legs hurt. And now he's as tall as me. And I have seen with my own eyes how he's having those growth pains, that we call it, that I never saw them before until I had my own kids. But we see them in life every single day. A lot of the success we see in this industry is when we see couples like you working together. And we know, Olivera, that you are always supporting Oliver as a full-time mom with your 2 boys and also as a spouse. Um, how do you support Oliver, and what would be some of your thoughts and ideas that you can give couples that are working together this business?
Well, Oliver is the man behind the business in our house. And together with our team, they're doing a beautiful job. And we have an amazing team, by the way. They're like family. They're such a nice people, hardworking, striving to be better. And we love them and so grateful to have them. But, I do everything else. House, kids, shopping, school, but I also help with the business as much as I can. I move the product, so I sell, not just to moms and friends. I advertise, try to be productive, but definitely with taking over everything else, Oliver has more time to focus on our business and help our team grow. So, yeah.
That's really good. And for closing, this is the last question. And thank you for this interview. I think it's been amazing. we have had, for some people, a challenging, or I'm going to call it different, beginning of 2020 with everything that's going on in the world. And we are already in June. So halfway of the year has gone by, and we have now the second half of 2020. What are some of your goals, and how do you see yourself playing for the next half of the year?
Our next goal is to move up to become soaring managers, and also to move up to the next 2.5K level. So that's on progress, on track, and that's our focus right now. That's what we focus on
for this year.
for this year.
Great. Those are amazing goals, and now you're accountable for that. I'm going to keep you accountable for that. Thank you very much, Oliver and Olivera. Looking forward to seeing you sometime soon in Canada or here in Phoenix, Arizona. I wish you the best for the rest of the year, for you and for your boys. And thank you again for being part of our beautiful Forever family. And thank you for everything you're doing in Canada, in North America, and worldwide.
Thank you so much for having us.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Alex.